Hey, it's Barry, and my lukewarm coffee again. Does this sound vaguely traumatic to anyone else? You look at your phone, see 47 unread messages, and the only emotion you feel isn't guilt, but pure exhaustion? It's like your brain is screaming, "Please, just leave me alone, I need to power down." And then you start wondering, why am I like this? Why does everyone else seem so hyped about the group chat, while I just want to mute notifications and vanish into thin air? I honestly thought I was broken. Seriously. You know, normal people love happy hour after work. They plan weekend brunches. They have this squad from college they still see every month. Me? I have about 3 people in my contacts list, and one of them is my DoorDash driver. I'd look at my calendar, see Team Building Friday, and my body's automatic response was a literal shiver. I thought there was a glitch in my system until I discovered this. Turns out, my brain isn't broken. It's just running on a completely different operating system. And if you also feel like you'd rather reorganize your bookshelf than sit in a loud bar, then this video is for you. If you see yourself in anything I just said, hit that like button so I know I'm not the only one who desperately wants to be alone. Paradoxical, right? Okay, first things first. We need to separate 2 things that society loves to mix up. There is a massive difference between loneliness and solitude, but our culture treats them like synonyms. Loneliness is a deficit. It's that painful feeling when you crave connection but can't find it. It's feeling invisible in a crowded room. Solitude, on the other hand, is when you actively choose your own space and feel genuinely good about it. It's a choice, not a punishment. And here's the part I need you to really hear, because this changed how I see myself. You can have 2 close friends and feel completely fulfilled. Or you can have 500 Instagram followers and feel hollow inside. It's not about the numbers. It's about alignment. Do your relationships actually match your emotional needs? I spent my entire 20s trying to be someone else. I forced myself to go to networking events, tried to be more outgoing, tried to reply to texts instantly. And the result? Burnout. Total burnout. My coffee hand was shaking like a leaf before every team meeting. I thought I lacked social stamina, like my body forgot to download the connection data plan. But then I dug into the research, and it all started to make sense. Turns out, people like us, those who are comfortable in solitude, we aren't lacking anything. We just have a different social diet. Think of it like food. Some people need 6 small meals a day to keep their energy up. Others do intermittent fasting, 2 big meals, and they're good to go. Your brain isn't broken. It just requires less input to run at peak performance. And actually, you have an advantage that many people don't. You have the ability to sit with your own thoughts without panicking. You don't need to constantly fill the silence with noise or other people. Psychologists call this emotional self-regulation. Basically, you can process your own feelings without needing to dump them onto someone else to feel better. That is a legit superpower. You know what's fascinating? Studies show that people who are comfortable with solitude often have deeper, more authentic relationships than those who can't stand being alone. Sounds backward, right? But it makes sense. When you reach out to someone, you're doing it from a place of wholeness, not desperation. You connect because you want to, not because you need to fill a void. This means you invest your social energy, which is limited, into the people who actually matter. People who get you, who respect your boundaries, and who don't expect you to wear a mask. Quality over quantity isn't just a cliché. It's a survival strategy for your mental health in a world that demands you to be always on. Now, let me explain what's happening inside your head when you're alone, because this is the cool part. You know what Einstein said? The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. Modern neuroscience backs this up. When your brain isn't constantly processing social cues, reading facial expressions, managing group dynamics, performing social scripts, It frees up bandwidth. With that extra bandwidth, your brain enters a mode psychologists call divergent thinking. This is where you explore multiple solutions, connect unrelated dots, and generate original ideas without the pressure to conform to the group. That's why so many creators, writers, and thinkers spend so much time alone. And there's one more thing: self-concept clarity. It sounds fancy, but it just means you know who you are without needing constant feedback from others. For example, when you're alone, you know you love jazz because you actually dig the complex rhythms, not just because you're nodding along to a playlist in your friend's car to fit in. When you're always in a crowd, your identity gets diluted. You start shaping yourself based on what others expect. But in solitude, you get to look at yourself in the mirror without anyone else's filter. You develop solid personal boundaries and understand your core values. My brain is like an office computer running Windows 95, and I finally realized that's not a bug, it's a feature. When I try to open too many social tabs at once, my RAM overloads. System freeze. Blue screen of death. But when I close the unnecessary tabs and just keep one or two important ones open, everything runs smooth as silk. I don't need an upgrade, I just need to know how to operate the machine efficiently. So if you've ever felt out of place because you don't have a massive squad or a packed social calendar, here is the good news. Research shows that people who enjoy solitude often have higher levels of psychological adjustment and stronger emotional resilience. You don't lack social skills. In fact, you're often emotionally intelligent precisely because you spend time reflecting on relationships instead of just accumulating them. The problem is, we assume everyone needs the same social diet. Some people genuinely need daily interaction with tons of friends to feel alive. Others need one or two deep connections and a lot of alone time to process, create, and recharge. Neither is wrong. Neither is healthier. They are just different psychological profiles. So, what should you do with this info? First, stop feeling guilty. Stop thinking there's something wrong with you because you don't want to text back immediately. Stop forcing yourself to attend every event out of obligation. What matters most is alignment. Does your life match what you actually need? Or are you squeezing yourself into a social mold that leaves you drained and fake? Protect your peace like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Set boundaries. Say no to draining interactions. Invest deep, not wide. And most importantly, respect your brain's unique operating manual. The person with 2 best friends and a rich inner life isn't failing. The person with 50 acquaintances and no one to call at 2 a.m. isn't winning. We're all just trying to find the configuration of connection and solitude that lets us be our true selves. And sometimes, that means choosing the quiet, even when the world is screaming at you to join the crowd. So next time your phone lights up with a group invite and your gut instinct is, "Oh no, I need to recharge," remember, that's not an error. That's your brain telling you it needs space for divergent thinking, for self-concept clarity, and for emotional regulation. Listen to it. My bug eyes have finally relaxed. The coffee in my hand isn't shaking anymore. And you know what? I feel good. If a green, bullet-headed guy running on Windows 95 like me can find peace in solitude, you definitely can too. So, I'm curious. What's your operating system? Are you running on Windows 95 like me? Or are you a supercomputer that needs constant data input to function? Let me know in the comments below. So, turns out I'm not crazy. My brain is just running on Windows 95. See you in the next spiral.